2018 Renault Twizy Review. The good points of Renault Twizy: cheap running, all too easy to park and maneuver. The bad points of Renault Twizy: limited range could restrict appeal, need to pay extra for doors. The Renault Twizy is just not a conventional car. It's actually challenging to describe it as a car, more a four-wheel alternative kind of transport for that city dweller. Renault describes becoming intriguing, but that's something associated with an understatement for an issue that looks like it's still in concept form. Indeed, the inline seating, in which the passenger sits behind the motorist rather than alongside, prompts quizzical looks from passers-by. The electric Twizy isn't some Pinsky idea, however. It is, in accordance with Renault, a practical solution for people who need an inexpensive vehicle that's clean, all too easy to park, cheap to perform and below the knob on emissions. It is cheap to acquire, but you must rent it on a leased basis between 1 and 4 years, dependent upon your personal preference. It carries a fully electric drivetrain as well as the lithium-ion batteries that provide the electric motor may be recharged in the household mains using a plug. A full charge takes 3.5 hours, knowing that'll supply the Twizy a 60-mile range. Electricity costs really should be minimal, and due to the Twizy's all-electric powertrain, owners can pay nothing in road tax while enjoying other cost benefits, for instance cheap parking with no congestion charge costs. As a mode of transport for individuals living in town, it may well be a practical choice. However, for those in rural places that there is a deficiency of local charging points, it's of little use. Those who do decide on a Renault Twizy have numerous options with regards to accessories and equipment. It also comes in 3 trim levels, Urban, Color and Technic, and they're priced within £800 of one another. Standard equipment on all versions includes 13-inch wheels, 2 glove boxes, one that is lockable, as well as an onboard computer that, among other things, will advise you how much charge a fee have left. There's another choice of 3 base colors, black, gray or white, which may be combined with blue, green or orange to the roof and side panels. If you boost from Urban to Color, you have interior decals, color-coded upholstery, white wheel trims and carpet mats. Go to the top of the range Technic and you'll get diamond effect alloy wheels, metallic paint, a carbon look roof, carbon look decals and white front seat shell. In terms of choice, the elementary Urban is a useful one, unless you happen to be insistent that your particular Renault Twizy has metallic paint. Renault Twizy review that follows more. It should not be a surprise to know that the Renault Twizy just isn't particularly fast when compared to more conventional cars intended for city driving. It is, however, extremely zippy, and there's easily enough there for nipping inside and out of traffic. The reason is that the 16 bhp electric motor delivers an outstanding 57 Nm of pull through corner wheels. Weighing just 450 kg, the Renault Twizy feels just right with the job it had been designed for. Official stats: the Twizy can get from 0 to 8 miles per hour in only 6 seconds, which can be ample for city driving. According to Renault, the Twizy has around the same performance to be a 125cc scooter on the distance of 50 meters. That's debatable, but there's no denying its responsiveness if you are accelerating, and it also'll handle hills without having trouble in any respect. Top speed is usually a creditable 50 miles per hour. There are no gears to switch, you only put it in drive, press around the accelerator and go. Renault claims that on the typical urban jaunt, the performance, linked with the excellent maneuverability with the Renault Twizy, cuts average journey times by around 25%. It's hard not to ever be seduced because of the Renault Twizy, and there is usually a definite fun ingredient that is missing from countless conventional cars, Yes, it feels as though a jumped-up golf buggy, but you ought to be a genuine cynic not to ever emerge from it after the half-hour drive which has a smile on your own face. It is meant to negotiate city traffic without difficulty, and yes, it absolutely does that. The turning circle of 3.4 meters helps make the car extremely quick to maneuver, and there is usually a certain pleasure to become gained from nipping inside and outside tight spaces confidently. In terms of outright handling, the Twizy feels surprisingly taut and well balanced. The limited speeds it is possible to achieve makes this incomparable with conventional city cars, but it really turns in sharply. There's little body lean and decent quantities of grip. If you are doing turn in sharply, you are doing get a lots of noise coming on the skinny wheels, and that is usually disconcerting. There's very little feel coming through the steering, and furthermore, as it isn't power assisted, it's slightly slow, which means you need to do more just work at the wheel than you choose. It also will tramline once the roads usually are not well surfaced. The brakes, which aren't power-assisted, are dependable, but you should give the pedal a hearty push to make it to stop briskly. Underneath the seating is usually a battery that weighs 100 kilograms, and that is almost 25% of Twizy's curb weight, but that doesn't appear to have detrimental effect about the handling. Overall, the Twizy is brilliant fun to push. It's a very basic affair, and also the plastics about the dashboard are suggestive of a city car, robust and functional. The tire doesn't adjust by any means, really the only adjustment influences front seat. The handbrake is situated under the dash, which can be home to a button for that automatic box which includes neutral, reverse and forward gears. Apart from two steering wheel mounted stalks for lights along with the windscreen wiper, that's essentially it. Remember, the Twizy can just be ordered with half-8 doors without windows, so both driver and passenger will likely be exposed to sun and rain to some degree. From a practical perspective, you might need to cover the seats in the event you leave it out within the open using a rainy night, or you'll fit the protective cover should you've bought one as a possible option. It's far away from luxurious, however it doesn't feel as if corners are actually cut. The trip computer informs you how fast you're heading, the space you've traveled, time and, above all, the amount of ask you for have left. The econometer also notifies you how efficiently that you are driving, and also a warning sound will explain when are running outside of charge and advises a top-up. Renault Twizy comfort levels are reasonable. It has two seats that happen to be placed in line in lieu of alongside one another in order to make it as being narrow as you possibly can. It can hold 2 adults in comfort, and legroom inside back is ample. It might be a tiny saga for 6-footers entering into the back though. The seats are happy, yet firm because from the rain-resistant plastic padding. As standard, the Twizy comes without doors by any means, and then we would recommend buyers spend the excess £545 for your optional scissor doors. We drove cars using the scissor doors along with the absence of windows means things can have a little blustery. That could be a problematic and somewhat chilly in Britain's cold months of winter. The electric motor is noisy when you find yourself up to speed, plus it's no real shock that you will get a lots of wind noise being received by the cabin. Conversations together with your passenger are likely to become few and far between. Because the Renault Twizy is usually a city car and is created for short journeys, referring as no real shock that it's short on accessories. There are 3 trims levels to pick from: Urban, Color and Technic. Urban provides a trip computer that will explain when you happen to be running from charge, as well for an eco score that measures how efficiently you're driving. More conventional equipment on standard Twizys such as a heated windscreen, 13-inch alloys, a 4-point safety harness, a 3-point seatbelt, automatic handbrake which locks once the motor is turned off, a lockable steering column and also a driver front airbag. The front seat comes with an anti-submarine feature that'll prevent you sliding beneath the seatbelt inside event of an important accident. It's got automatic transmission, headrests, along with a wind deflector too. The two glove boxes, which may have a stowage capacity of 3 and 5 liters, are equipped which has a 12-volt power supply, and also the storage area located behind the seat includes a 31-liter capacity. You also get yourself a 3-meter spiral cable in front that it is possible to attach to a family mains. Color adds white wheel trims and carpet mats along with colored roof, color-coded upholstery and colored decals to the glove box lids and doors. Tech offers 13-inch diamond effect gloss black alloy wheels, metallic paint, a white front seat shell, carbon look decals for doors and glove box lids and carbon look roof. The Renault Twizy also comes in a range of 3 base colors, black, gray or white that might be combined with blue, green or orange for that roof and side panels. A host of accessories is usually ordered using the Twizy including waist 8 scissor doors, and in the event you want you are able to specify the car that has a two-tone livery. An Achieve transparent roof is going to be available for an option at a later time. Other accessories it is possible to buy feature an anti-lift alarm, child booster seat, driver and passenger blanket, front mud flaps, leisure bag, protective vehicle cover, rubber bumper strip with the front and rear, rubber mats, tire lock and storage nets. You could also go for the paired Bluetooth hands-free kit, rear parking sensors and also a Garmin sat-nav. The Twizy has disc brakes all around, a person airbag, immobilizer, lockable steering column, a 3-point rear seat belt and also a 4-point front seat belt. Renault Twizy safety may be further enhanced because of the anti-submarine feature around the front seat that stops the driving force sliding underneath the seatbelt inside event of an important accident. Because the Twizy is categorized to be a quadricycle clothing crash tested by Euro NCAP, speculate it will likely be traveling at low speeds, which could give some satisfaction. Still, it really is exposed with the sides, particularly when you don't possess the doors. A side protection bar is included from the doors, which means you may be a sensible cost selection for you if safety is often a priority. You may opt for your active park assist for added peace of mind if you are reversing beyond tight spots. You get excellent visibility because of the full-length windscreen that extends promptly into the middle and the roof. The pillars are suitably thin, therefore you don't get any problems when you're pulling out at acute angles, and that is ideal for city driving. Inside there are 2 glove boxes to handle your cell phone and other bits and bobs, and there is usually a storage space behind a corner seat that's large enough for a laptop and not a laptop case. The Renault Twizy includes a turning circle of 3.4 meters, that is better when compared to a Toyota IQ. It's approximately 2 meters long, and this is about 40 centimeters shorter over a Smart 4 Tow, also it's just over the meter wide. These small dimensions means it could possibly fit inside tightest of parking spaces. The major drawback could be the charging time, but unlike several electric vehicles, you don't have to have a nighttime to have a full charge. Charging time from your household mains takes about 3.5 hours, resulting in 3 hours on an 80% charge. The range is all about 60 miles, however the addition of regenerative braking takes that around 70 miles in case you are driving exclusively in city centers.